What up, people? This is Nature Girl 30 here, coming to you with your raw review for last night of May 30th. Um, Before I go into any details about the raw review, the one thing that I have noticed is that there has been a lot of ring botching lately, especially when it comes to the wrestlers being completely out of sync, which is pretty much the whole theme of this entire review is out of sync. But the one thing I've noticed is that Kofi Kingston was definitely not in sync in his match last night, as well as David Otunga wasn't in sync with his match last week on SmackDown. I'm thinking that instead of having 11 matches a year, they need to minimize it only down to six major pay-per-views. The first one should always be Backlash. Then it should be Extreme Rules. To me, in my opinion, it should be SmackDown. I'm not SmackDown, sorry. It should be SummerSlam. Then it should be the Royal Rumble. Then it should be the Elimination Chamber. And then the final one should be WrestleMania. And it shouldn't be 11 matches a year because it's taking a toll on your players. It's taking a toll on all of them. They're not in sync. They're always botching up. They need to take a breather. And I'm thinking that instead of having 11 matches, it should be minimized down to six, so it can be good for all the wrestlers, so everybody can be refreshed and renewed every time they start wrestling. So there won't be any of these incidences where they have like shadow hits and or phantom elbows and and completely missing their mark. They can finally be on their game, and they should definitely use a breather. It's bad enough Vince McMahon is not even paying for their insurance. He should at least give them a few months off. All right, now to the review. Now, for this review, I am not going to reiterate the details of last night because you have watched them, and there's no point in even going back to, to something talking about something you've already seen. So I'm just going to go into the things that interested me for the night, and also things that really did piss me off. The one thing that really pissed me off was the beginning of the entire thing. I'm not going to go into how the audio was completely out of sync and how the voices were out of sync and how the video didn't work for like a good 15 minutes because it's a live show and things happen. The one thing that bothered me the most was R-Truth. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm happy that he is a heel because it's something different than those whole what's up things. And trust me, I was getting sick of that. But the thing is that he's instead of him being like any other heel that goes out, gets what they want, pummels somebody down to their nothing, and then ends up getting a title shot. He's taking the angry black man route. Now, me as a black person, it bothers me. It really does. I mean, even though I'm not a black man, I never will be. But the thing is, if I was a black man, I'd be pissed off too. Because you would think that they would try a better route for him than the stereotypical angry black man route. It's bad enough that he had, okay, before I go further into it, I'm just going to make a disclaimer here. Just like Chris Rock said in his stand up, there's black people and then there's niggas. I hate to say it, but he's taking a nigger route. He had too many nigga moments last night, especially when he saw John Cena's shirt being up there. He had to rip the whole thing down. And then at the end, he had a huge nigga moment when he took out somebody, when he took a Coke and like doused the poor guy in the face. And he wasn't even a commentator. He was just somebody watching the show, somebody that paid tickets for this kids to see the show. And I know that's part of the whole act. But that's the whole thing. It's part of the whole act. They could have came up with something better for him to be a heel. I mean, shoot, for crying out loud, they had toe-touching Randy Orton to be the apex predator. I mean, they could have done something better with R-Truth. Especially the whole angle with John Cena and how they put him into this made R-Truth look like a freaking idiot. I mean, oh my gosh, John Cena shirts everywhere. I can't stand this mess. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get a match with you and you gonna get got. And what happened in the end? Nobody got. It was a freaking count out. A count out? Really? Is that the best you can do? All these niggerish moments, and the best you can do is to say you get got and didn't get anybody. Come on, at least they will come out with it. Alright, next, moving on. Why, oh why, did they have to revisit Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk? Why? Oh my gosh, I was literally so not interested in this match that I was playing Bejeweled 3. That's sad. If you gotta pull out a computer game or some other form of entertainment to keep you away from the entertainment that you're supposed to be watching, that's pretty freaking sad, man. You gotta do something better than that. I mean, come on. I was so bored with this mess that I didn't even watch it, and what made me mad is I ended up missing an Alex Rider view. He was there. Well, I wouldn't know because I really didn't see it, but according to some of the reviews that I've seen on YouTube, they actually said he was there holding his Internet Championship belt, which is what I wanted to see, and I'd rather have Zack Ryder be on Raw than having to see this crap every night. Next. Negative moment number 3, the Bella twins. Those raccoon dog looking, ugh, they annoy the crap out of me because they have no purpose. They have no reason. They just taking up empty space. All they have done for the entire time they were there before they revealed they were twins is that they were escorts. That's all they were. They were celebrity escorts. And now that they don't have any more guest celebrity GMs or whatever, as long as they don't have them anymore, the Bella Twins have nothing better to do than annoy us. And whoever decided to give them the belt were idiots. That made pretty much the Divas division go downhill. I mean, besides the fact that Karma is now gone for an entire year, they have practically brought it down to nothing. And I think it was the Boston fan that said it best, that Kelly is the Britney Spears version, the Britney Spears equivalent to, well, I mean, she's the Britney Spears of WWE. That's pretty much what he said. Well, not verbatim, but I mean, they had no reason being there that night. There was no reason to have a Divas match, and they had no reason to open their mouths because they both lack ring skills, let alone mic skills. They lack mic skills. They don't need to talk. They need to sit there and just smile and look pretty or whatever raccoon dogs do. But anyhow, moving on to my happy, positive, some kind of mark moment of the night. At least I have something good to say. Moving on to that. All right. One of my best moments of the night. Alex Riley had his own entrance music, came down the ramp, walked down with like the bit of cockiness in him, and it made me so happy, the fact that they're pushing him. Oh my goodness, was I so happy. The fact that Michael Cole was there kind of sucked, but it was doable. Like you can deal with it. But Alex Riley, man, he just the fact that they're pushing him and that he's finally holding his own really makes me happy. It really does. Oh, man, that was a really great moment of the night to finally see him get some ring time. It's just the only messed up part was that I know that he's no longer going to be with the Miz and he's not totally a heel. He's probably going to be a face, but he just didn't own it. Like he owned it, he halfway owned it, but he didn't own it fully. Like he should have snatched the mic out of Michael Cole's hand. He would have really owned it then. He did own it, don't get me wrong. He owned it, but it could have been a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more forceful for me. But he still did a great job, and he has good mic skills. I am not hating on that. I really think that the guy can. I mean, I really think that he's championship material. Maybe not WWE yet, but I think that he can probably be a good maybe with the starter belt, maybe U.S. championship, and then possibly Intercontinental. And I think that he will definitely. I mean, I think he definitely has championship material, and I can't wait to see what they do further with him. My moment of the night, especially at what I consider the equivalent of a mud wrestling match for guys, or a wet t-shirt match for guys, was to see the Miz and A-Rod go at it. Oh, that was awesome. Because the A-Rod seriously just kicked the crap out of him. And I like the Miz. The Miz can bring the pain when you actually when he has his back against the wall, he can bring the pain. And that was just awesome. And the fact that they were going at it and then the Miz ran off. I mean, that was an awesome match just because A-Rod went heel and A-Rod went completely stir crazy on the Miz. That was just totally awesome. Moving on. All right. My personal main event for the night was Karma. I was waiting a good however long it was, probably an hour for Karma to come out. But Karma is pretty good on the mic. At first, everybody assumed and really believed that she should have had a manager that was, that would speak for her. Honestly, I think she can hold her own. And when she comes back for after a year after having her baby, if she is pregnant, she definitely can hold her own. And it kind of warmed my heart when she kind of talked about the fact that JR said that she was too fat, but then she took her skills to Japan and learned and scraped dojos and swept dojos and cleaned everything just to learn from the masters. And I admire that. I don't know whether or not all that's true, but that is an interesting part of the story. And I really do have a lot of respect for her after seeing that. And I know that when she comes back, if she is pregnant, and if she comes back a year later, I think she's going to bring the pain. And I think that hopefully, that there'll be a lot more talent when she comes back, a lot more challenges for her. Because those little Winnie waifs, please, they are no challenge for her, none. The only challenge I think that is possible for her is Beth Phoenix and Natalya. That is if they're still there and they're not at TNA by the time she comes back. Hopefully there'll be a challenge for her when she returns, and I am looking forward to it. All right, time for the verdict of the night. The verdict for May 30th Raw, I have to give it a C minus. And the reason why is because of, I have to add the audio in there. I have to add the video in there. Even though it's live and even though stuff happens, it's a part of the show. And that pretty much gave it a negative moment. Plus, the wrestlers being totally out of sync. Nobody's really, there when it comes to all the matches. They still have their mistakes. And the Bella twins. I have to add them in too because they're annoying and they don't need to be there. And Michael Cole is neutral now, but then there are moments that he shouldn't be there either. So unfortunately, I had to give it a C minus for the night. At least it's not a D. And I was entertained, especially with Karma and with A-Rye and also with, I didn't really see Alex Rider, but it would have been a C if I saw Alex Rider. And unfortunately, I didn't because I was too freaking bored and I actually played Bejeweled 3 because I was that bored. But anyway, it's a C minus for the night. For anybody that has their own opinion or their own for anybody that has their own opinion about what really happened in Raw, how they feel about Raw, and especially about what I said in the beginning about having only 6 major pay-per-views instead of 11, please leave your comments below. If you like it, please hit like. Thank you very much for hearing my rant. All you guys have a good day, and I will see you later.